Baddies USA episode 9 titled Windy City Welcome. Shout out to Chi-Town and also shout out to all my Aquarius babies. It's our birthday month. So the episode starts off with Suki and Sapphire and they are in the Windy City and they're talking about none other than Big Gretch. Big Gretch was upset because the crowd in New York City booed her. Sapphire made a good point here. Sapphire was like, okay, but like she said the N-word in her song. She didn't call you the N-word, so what was your issue with her? And Suki just feels like she didn't like the way that Big Gretch was talking to her, which I found so funny that she said this because I feel like Suki was coming at Big Gretch. If you rewatch that scene, you will literally see more than one time Suki coming kind of disrespectful at Big Gretch and Big Gretch literally taking it and taking it and taking it. I feel like Suki was trying to provoke that fight with Big Gretch because it was not necessary at all. Suki actually said everybody agrees that she got booed because she said the N-word in the song, even though in the video clip they show people booing her before she says the N-word. So that part I'm like, huh? That doesn't make sense unless it was edited that way. But my whole thing is like, how do you know? Did you ask everybody in the crowd? Did you ask the New York City crowd, why were y'all booing Big Gretch? How does she know that? I'm genuinely curious. How did she come to the conclusion that everybody agreed that she got booed because she said the N-word? Because I guarantee you, there's people in that New York City crowd that didn't mind that she said the N-word. Anyways, if you were in the New York City crowd, y'all let me know what happened in real time. I would love to know. Okay, so the scene cuts and we get who? Two of the big three, Big Lex and Dolly. And it's a little sad seeing them having their scene without Summer. It was always the iconic big three. But yeah, they're in the streets of the Windy City. They recap how the performance went in New York City. And Dolly, I feel like, took it so well that everybody was screaming, F Dolly, F Dolly. Like she literally didn't seem bothered by it. She was just like, whatever, it is what it is. Which I commend her because honestly, that is so mean. Oh my gosh. I say things in reviews. I don't actually hate these girls though. I would never say F any one of these cast members. That's crazy. Like y'all fans be doing way too much. Then they start talking about Summer and Dolly expresses that she's a little bit sad that they've kind of fallen apart. Big Lex let it be known, something that I've been trying to say since the very beginning. Summer takes zero accountability. And that's my whole thing too. When did she take accountability at all? My whole argument was that a little accountability goes a long way. I really do think at this point, Summer has already made up her mind that she just doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. So it doesn't matter how many more conversations they have. Summer is taking it offensively instead of taking it constructively. She's not open to hearing what they have to say. And it is what it is. Like, that's it. Summer's immature. I said it a million times. Summer's immature. She's immature. She's not ready for true growth, even if she claims that she is. Okay. So the scene cuts back to Sapphire and Suki. And literally Sapphire is telling Suki, like, do you think that Big Gretch said the N-word because Tavy Baby kind of like gave her the okay to say it? And Suki had no idea about that. She was like, oh, so Tavy Baby's the reason why all this happened? And she's like, no. She's not the reason, but I'm just saying, like, she was okay with it. Tavy Baby is from New York. They are in New York. If a New Yorker literally says, I don't mind that she says the N-word, like, how are you gonna argue against that? I'm just saying. And like I said before, New York has such a huge Hispanic community and they all say the N-word. I'm not saying these things as an excuse, so don't twist my words. I am not trying to make an argument for non-black people saying the N-word. I'm trying to point out hypocrisy. That's it. Suki, I think it's funny because she tries to shade Tavy. Like, Tavy, who is that? Who's that girl? Like, what did she do? And Sapphire's like, she did like the intermission show. Low-key shading Sapphire too, because Sapphire was a part of that intermission. Ooh. I didn't like that from Suki. Honestly, I don't like the way Suki's moving this whole situation. Why are you shading Tavy Baby? Because she said something that you don't agree with? And like, why are you trying to make it seem like doing the intermission was like nothing? So the scene cuts back to Big Lex and Dolly. And Big Lex is telling Dolly that she's been catching Tavy Baby talking a lot of online, specifically on IG. Like, Tavy Baby is just commenting, saying this slick about Big Lex. I do remember this happening in real time. Like, I do remember Tavy Baby was yapping away on IG and she said a lot of stuff, not just about Big Lex. And low-key, I feel like Tavy Baby is not dumb. I feel like she knows exactly what she's doing and she was on social media talking for this very reason, like so that she could keep the drama going, because she knows that the more she's involved in drama, the more popular she's gonna get, you know, the more screen time she's gonna get, the more camera time she's gonna get. I mean, Tavy Baby's not dumb. I feel like she knew exactly what she was doing. So I do understand Big Lex. I understand why she's upset right now, because in her mind, her and Tavy Baby, they fought and everything was over. So why are you still talking on social media? Anyways, I found it interesting that Big Lex said she was trying to show a different side to her this season, that she was trying to be more chill and all that, and that's cool and everything, but like, don't fall into the background. Don't prove everybody right who says they need Summer. Without Summer, they're nothing and they're boring. Like, come on now. Because last season on Baddies Africa, Summer was gone for like a whole half of the season, and they did not fade into the background. They were still lit. They were still causing drama. They were still fighting. Like, they were still doing everything. So I don't think they need Summer at all. But hi, Suda. My cat. But this season, I don't know what happened on Baddies USA. I almost feel like they're just burnt out. But shout out to the newbies, because they totally are carrying Baddies USA this season. I ain't gonna lie. The OGs, I forgot about them most of the time. It's the newbies. They're taking over. So the scene cuts and we get to see the beautiful Milan, Italy. I appreciate all of the drone shots. It looks so beautiful. I wish I could have visited Milan when I went to Italy, but I went to Rome only. I don't mean to say only as if Rome is nothing, but I'm saying Milan, yeah. I wish I could go there. Anyways, so we get Scotty and Jayla, and they are talking to each other. I'm personally happy that Scotty got away from the baddies and the fighting and all that. So I don't mind that they're filming this like little side quest in Milan right now. But yeah, Scotty's super excited because it's her first time in Milan. Jayla had to flex real quick. She's like, this is my third time, girl. Like, girl, we know you are well-traveled and cultured. Like, if y'all didn't, yes, she is. That's why she knows all the facts about all of the countries. But yeah, this scene was cute. I mean, you could see Scotty was excited. She actually said, you know, she's so happy to be here with her man. And I don't know if that's the first time that she actually like said that on the show, like that she said my man. It's like, oh, okay, girl. I'm happy for her because she said that she's having an easy pregnancy. And let me tell you, that's a blessing, because the majority of women do not have easy pregnancies, especially the first trimester. Like, so many girls get sick and they gotta throw up, morning sickness, like weakness, just fatigue in general. So yeah, maybe it is all that working out and keeping her body in shape that helped her. Anyways, I love seeing Italy in the background. It totally reminds me of my ex that I used to date. Like I told y'all, Italians in general are very romantic, very charismatic, a little too passionate. They love Black women. I stand by that. Hear me out, y'all, because I love romance. I love a good romantic story, you know? Can Zeus please do like a 90-Day Fiance but Black couples? Like, can we do a spin-off, a rendition, please? Like, that would be so epic. And it doesn't have to be fighting. You don't even need to fight, because there's so much drama happening just with the different cultures combining and meeting each other. And yeah. Anyways, they bring up Tommy once again. I'm like, y'all, clearly Tommy is important, because this woman gets brought up in almost every single conversation. That whole antic where she had girls pull up, that happened 2 episodes back. Why y'all still talking about it right now? Like, she's relevant and she's not even there. So the scene cuts and we see Tinkerbella getting her hair done, and Rolly comes in and joins her. And literally they're talking about the show, and they're talking about how some of the girls got booed, and Dolly specifically, like the crowd was literally saying F Dolly, F Dolly. And Rolly actually says that these girls probably need to sit out next time and not be a part of the show because the crowd doesn't like them, which I don't know. I thought that was crazy. I was like, what? Girl, every city, every place that y'all go to, you're gonna have a different response. In the US in general, a lot of baddies don't like them, but when they go international, like the international fan base is way more positive, way more welcoming, way more loving. Like, the fact that she said that to me was just crazy. Like, obviously, even within the US, every city is not gonna have the same response. New York, obviously they were effing with Dolly. Even I said it, I was shocked. I was like, damn, do y'all really hate Dolly more than Summer in New York? Like, damn. But, you know, Dirt, where is Dolly from? She's from the South, right? So yeah, maybe when they go down South, you'll see more people supporting her. I didn't like this, and I didn't agree with Rolly. I don't think they should have to sit out just because the crowd doesn't like them. It's just about crowd control, in my opinion. If people are throwing bottles and all that, that's when security needs to escort that person out. Hello. Like, why would you change your whole show because of the crowd? I don't know. That's just my opinion. And also, I'm like, well, damn, you're gonna have to cut half of the girls because they were booing Gretch, they were booing Summer, they were booing Dolly, they were booing Nunu, they were booing who else? I can't think off the top of my head, but I mean, so many girls got booed. It wasn't just a few. Apparently, Gretch got a bottle thrown at her, which they didn't show, but that's pretty crazy. And that's what I'm like, okay, crowd control. Take that person, escort them. Before the show, tell them, if y'all throw bottles, if y'all throw anything at the stage, you're gonna be removed. Because people are not paying money to go watch Baddies just to be removed. Like, I don't know, I just think, you know, these things can be communicated. But it was their first show, so I'll give them some grace on that. Tinkerbella is literally defending Gretch, as she did even the last episode. And she's literally saying, like, I don't think Gretch is racist at all. She's just a product of her environment. She grew up that way, and she doesn't have any malicious intent when she says the word, which most people agree with. I don't think anybody actually thought that she was being racist. That's why this whole thing is a little bit frustrating to watch, because people get offended, but in the real life, that's not how they move. In real life, like, y'all got friends that are not full black that say the N-word, and it's okay. But you see somebody on TV and you want to take offense to it. Why? So Rolly calls Natalie. She's literally in the middle of her funeral. I'm like, y'all could have just left her alone. Why are you calling her with this BS right now? Rolly, you are the leader. You don't need to call her. Just hold that house meeting, girl. You know exactly what to do. Like, where's Tommy too? Isn't she supposed to be one of the leaders? I don't know. Maybe y'all need to replace Tommy with somebody else, because I haven't really seen her stepping up to the leadership position. But yeah, it really does feel like they're having a hard time operating without Natalie. They gotta get her input. They gotta call her. They gotta see what does she want to do. Like, it's always her name involved. But yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh, she can't catch a break. Literally, she's in the middle of a funeral. Let this woman breathe. So the scene cuts and we see Big Gretch and Smiley walking in the streets of Chi-Town. Literally, you know, Smiley knows all about this. She said this is where the mob started at, and she knows all about that, right? I find this duo to be very funny. It's literally like the outcasts of Baddies USA, and they united together. Smiley's confessional with her tattoos like all over her face. At first I was like, girl, you look like 6'9". But then the more I look at it, I'm like, I kind of like it. It's temporary. If it was permanent, I wouldn't like it. What is Smiley's shirt though? I just noticed that right now. What is that supposed to be? I'm so confused. I don't understand this outfit. It's giving me like the year 3000. I don't know. They start talking about Big Gretch and Suki, and Smiley asked her like, what happened? And here I was waiting for Big Gretch to give her side of the story, and she says, okay, so Suki asked me why did they boo you, and I was like, B, I thought we were cool. And I was like, okay, no, there's no way Big Gretch said that. They edited the out of this scene. There's no way. That response makes no sense. She would have said something like, okay, so Suki thought that they booed me because I said the N-word, but they didn't boo me because I said the N-word, and da-da-da-da, and I thought we were cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, why was it edited that way? It made no sense at all. I wanted to hear from Gretch's mouth her story. So yeah, so she's like, and I hear that Sapphire is looking for me, so like, it's what's up now. Smiley is trying to diffuse the situation. She's like, all right, well, I think y'all could just like sit down and have a conversation. And Big Gretch is like, no. And the way that I heard that Sapphire was running after me, hell no. And I agree. Sapphire was doing too much in the club, breaking the glass on the door. Like, she was literally having a conniption fit. I wanted to use that word. She was literally throwing a tantrum backstage, running up and down and around and outside and inside, while Suki was on stage having fun. Like, literally, she was doing the most. Yeah, I kind of like understand Big Gretch. Nah, it can't just be a sit down conversation. Not after all that hoorah last night. So Rolly texts them that they're about to have a house meeting. So they get up and they go back home. Big Gretch is like, yeah, it's time to fight, time to fight. And Smiley was like, no, don't put your hands on my friend. I wonder who she was talking about. Are you talking about Sapphire or Suki? Is that who you're calling your friend? Because like, girl, you were running from them back in Baddies East. Is that when it happened? Damn. I can't think of like all of these seasons. But anyways, Smiley had me cracking up because she was like, Big Gretch said, let's go, girl. Let's go to the house. And Smiley said, I ain't riding with you. They gonna beat my ass too. Oh my gosh. Say what you will, but you have to admit that Smiley is pretty funny. So the scene cuts and you see all of the girls getting on the Baddies USA tour bus. So Nunu's walking towards Fauna. She puts her cup down first. Fauna sees that. She's like, oh, hold on, move out the way, Smiley. Here we go. Then immediately, boom, they start fighting. Fauna was definitely getting her. Like, Fauna literally pushed her all the way to the back of the bus. To the back of the bus you go. Then I seen like Nunu swinging towards the end. Nunu got Fauna's wig. I was like, again. Damn, Fauna, why you keep letting her grab your wig? She snatched 2 wigs off of you. Nunu still had her wig on in the end. Fight kind of went how the first one did. I do think Fauna won this fight. However, yes, Nunu does look pretty untouched by the end of it. So now we hear Cold Killer come in and she's like, yeah, so when did you ever check my temperature? Because what the fuck are you talking about? You had never checked my temperature. And I completely agree with Cold Killer on this one because I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Nunu? When she said in the last episode, I checked the temperature because when I first got here, I walked right past y'all and y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all was quiet. So that was me checking the temperature. And I was like, no, nobody would agree that that means you checked their temperature. Literally, you did nothing. Checking temperature implies that you do something, okay? She should have at least said something like, what's up, Kokila? You was talking that shit online, but now you're quiet. So what you want to do? That's checking somebody's temperature. It's giving them the option. You want to do something or not? Are you hot or are you cold? Literally. But I will also say shout out to Kokila because her confessionals are so cute. I love this orange little like high school cheerleader look on her. I loved her burn book. Like so far, she's having my favorite confessionals this season. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't agree with Nunu at all. None of what she says makes sense. Like, I'm gonna check your temperature. Yet she doesn't say anything at all when she gets there. Yeah, she claims that she checked their temperature. And then she's saying, why would I say something first when I'm not the one who has the problem? So then she presumes to say something first a few days later. It doesn't make sense. Somebody explain to me how what Nunu's saying makes any type of sense at all. It doesn't. And tie in the fact that she had a discussion with Fauna off camera and they agreed that K-Rican wasn't going to be brought up. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm on Fauna and Cold Killer and K-Rican's side. K-Rican's not here, but damn it. I feel like Nunu, this is her only storyline. Honestly, if it wasn't for this, Nunu would be doing nothing all season long. I see Tavy Baby on the sideline helping Fauna with her wig. So I'm like, oh, did you guys make up? Because y'all literally have been fighting more than we see you guys getting along. So they shared a little cute moment. I know they're not together, but it's kind of funny to the way that they act. Totally, they act like couples, right? So Tavy Baby gets involved at this point, and literally she's backing up her friends. She's literally like, hold on, you never checked anybody's temperature. You said that you were gonna check the temperature on live, and when you came here, you didn't check nobody's temperature. You didn't do nothing, girl, which is exactly what I said. And then she literally says, and you had a conversation with Fauna, and you agreed not to bring up K-Rican. And here, Nunu says, that's not true. I never agreed to that, which I have to call cap right here. I think Nunu is just straight up lying because literally when she had her conversation with Fauna, she admitted that they did have an agreement, but she was playing a game of semantics with the agreement. Fauna, was saying, hey, we agreed that we're not going to say K-Rican's name. And Nunu's like, yeah, I didn't say her name, but I didn't agree that I would never bring her up. That was her whole argument. So yeah, I just think Nunu is just straight up lying at this point. Like I said, she wanted a storyline. She was fading into the background, so she did it, and she's trying to justify it by doing cartwheels and backflips, and it's still not making no sense. In the middle of like Tavy Baby and Nunu arguing with each other, Kokila said, "Hey, shut up." She gets her one time. I know Kokila is like itching to fight her because that girl, Kokila, does not take no disrespect. And she might be little, but she does not back down from anyone. So the fact that she's even showing this much like composure right now and not just lunging after her is surprising me. So the scene cuts and now we are on the road, okay? And we're getting into the best conversation, the one that I love the most. the N-word. That's sarcasm in case you didn't know. Anyway, Summer asked Big Gretch, how did you feel about your performance, girl? And Big Gretch is like, yeah, I mean, I was sad because I got booed. I was like the second person. And Summer's like, girl, they booed me too. Who gives a F? Like, don't take it personal. And so Rolly starts the conversation about the N-word, and she brings up my point exactly. There are multiple ethnicities, multiple races on this cast, and she said they all say the N-word. So if everybody can say the N-word, then Gretch should be able to say it too, and you guys shouldn't have a problem. And that's exactly the point. What a lot of people who get offended are missing is that we are not giving passes to people that shouldn't say the N-word to be able to say it. We are pointing out hypocrisy. Why are people like Anna Mac allowed to say the N-word when she literally said out of her own mouth, I am not black. I do not claim to be black. Why is she allowed to say it? It's just a hypocrisy. And Rolly literally said, like, you know, I grew up in California. I grew up with Mexicans, with all different types of people. And they said the N-word, and I never took it offensively, never took it any type of way. Even Tavy Baby makes this point, which further proves what I was saying earlier. Even Tavy Baby was like, that's why I was surprised when they started booing her in New York City for saying the N-word, because in New York, a lot of non-black people say the N-word and nobody has an issue with it. And I was like, exactly. So doesn't it make more sense that the crowd was probably just booing Big Gretch because they don't like her? The same way they were booing Summer, the same way they were booing Dolly and saying F Dolly, the same way they were booing Nunu, the same way they were booing a lot of the girls. I don't know that the girls speaking in this scene, like Tavy Baby, I don't know that they necessarily actually heard the crowd booing Big Gretch when she said the N-word. They're just running along with Suki's story because that's what Suki told everybody and convinced everybody that that happened. Tinkerbella gives her very insightful input, and she says, and guys, she F's black men and she has black kids, so she's black. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work. It never works. No matter how many times you say that, it's not gonna work. Her whole thing is like, she knows Big Gretch. Big Gretch means no harm by it. Big Gretch is literally a I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you know, Big Gretch is one of us. Y'all, like, just chill. That's what Tinkerbella thinks. And then Tinkerbella also says, like, let's be real. As the black people, you know, we get more offended that somebody calls us the B word than an N word. And I didn't see nobody disagree with that. That's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of this, we hate Gretch for saying the N word, is forced. Very forced. So anyways, now we change the topic of conversation and we have Big Lex, and she is checking Tavy Baby's temperature. She's like, I have a question, Tavy, because you just keep doing the internet. Okay, see, Nunu, that's how you check somebody's temperature. She didn't just like check her. She wasn't like being aggressive. She's asking a question. She's leading into giving her the option. What do you want to do? Lex is literally bringing up the fact that Tavy Baby has been running her mouth a little bit too much online, and on lives, she keeps saying about Big Lex. And Tavy Baby's adamant. She's like, no, I'm not. I never said your name. I never said anything about you. Show the receipts. Bring the proof. And guess what? Zeus shows the receipts. Thank you so much, Zeus, because I love when they do this. Like, I don't have to try to remember what the hell happened in real time or try to figure out what's going on. Here's the receipt. Like in the Krishan situation, I was like, please put receipts. Like, I don't know what's going on. But here we go. Literally, Tavy Baby is on live. She's talking about Big Lex. She literally saying Big Lex ain't doing shit this season. She said Big Lex is sitting on her hands. I promise you that much. It's a lot of heavy hitters this season, and all of a sudden Big Lex got quiet. Like, girl, you talked about her. There is no way to wiggle out of that one. You did do that. So Tavy Baby starts yelling like, Big Lex, you've just always hated me for no reason. And Summer is like, no, that's not true. Like, you hit her in the truck. We're talking about Baddies Africa right now. So Tavy Baby's like, no. I didn't hit her for no reason. I hit her because she was trying to call me out and trying to say that I would just want to be friends with her because I didn't want that with her. I was just trying to, be friends with her because she's a heavy hitter. That's why I hit her. Summer is literally like, you said that? Wow, Big Lex. And Big Lex is like, no, I didn't say it like that. And if my memory serves correct, Big Lex, you did say that. I literally remember because I called you out. Y'all know I love Big Lex, but I called her out because I am not biased. And I literally said, Big Lex, you're giving mean girl. This reason for not wanting to be Tavy's friend doesn't make no sense at all. You don't want to be her friend because she's being nice to you, and that you think she's being nice to you because she basically is trying to befriend the heavy hitters. You said that, so let's not pretend like you didn't say that. But what I found funny is that Summer is then like, yes, you did say that, Big Lex. And Big Lex is like, girl, you weren't even there. Shut up. Like, cause Summer, she got taken out of Baddies Africa. She was gone for damn near half the season. This scene just proves how much Summer is a liar, because she literally just 2 seconds before that said, oh, you said that, Big Lex? She was shocked. And then 2 seconds later, she said, yes, you did say that. You did say that. Summer's in the confessionals feeling frustrated because she feels like, why do I get attacked every time I speak? Like, why is it an issue? Honestly, she sounds like she's pretty drained at this point. Like, she sounds tired. You know what? You wouldn't feel that way if you listened to Big Lex and Dolly, because they were just trying to help you out. They were trying to help you so that everybody doesn't always come for you, so that you're not always the person getting attacked and hit and yelled at. Like, this was their whole point, okay? But anyways, the other thing about that, which is funny, is like, you inserted yourself into their conversation. So what are you talking about? If you feel like it's a problem every time you speak, then just stop inserting yourself in their conversation. It literally had nothing to do with you. Big Lex said you weren't even there. Why are you speaking at this moment? Literally, Rolly is even telling Summer to be quiet. She's like, Summer, shut up. Like, Summer is like, okay, handle your issue with Tavy. And Big Lex is like, okay, how can I handle my with Tavy if you keep jumping in it and saying stuff? Like, don't speak for me. I'm here and I was physically present when you weren't. Let me talk and let me say what I gotta say. Because according to Big Lex, she didn't say that exactly. Even though for me, I'm like, tomato, tomato, girl. If you implied it, you said it. So whatever. Like, don't play a game of semantics like Nunu was doing. But yeah, I don't really get Summer here, to be honest. She seems broken. She does not seem like the regular Summer that's just like hype and loud and loves to start shit and get in the middle of shit. And that, like, she thrived on that before. Like, she was a troll before and she loved it. Now it seems like it's actually genuinely affecting her and she's drained by it. Like, mentally it's messing with her, you know? And Rolly literally says, like, Summer keeps antagonizing Big Lex. She keeps antagonizing Dolly too. Pushing them. And if they jump on you one day, girl, you ask for it. And what I saw so far, I do agree to that sentiment. To a certain extent, I do. For the most part, I do feel like Summer is the one that's been doing a little bit too much when it comes to her friends. Big Lex and Dolly, a little bit too smart, a little bit too shady comments, like a little bit too much side eye, like a little bit too much. So it's only so much that people can take before they do explode. Okay, so Big Lex and Tavy Baby are still arguing at this point. Big Lex is literally telling her, like, you said you hate me. You said you hate me and you never would be friends with me. So stop acting like I'm the one that doesn't like you. You hate me. And Tavy Baby's like, Big Lex, you literally snuck me on my birthday and I still don't hate you. And I said, aw, you forgave her for that? That's crazy. Because that was actually insane when that happened. But yeah, Tavy Baby's like, I still don't hate you. You're a little girl to me. And then here comes Big Lex. Okay, and you're grown, so act like a 40-year-old that you are. And I was like, I was gonna be like, hey, Big Lex, stop that age shaming, girl. Cause she's 36. Y'all gonna get enough of trying to age shame people, acting like y'all not gonna be that age one day. That's the dumb shit. But I can't really say that because you little girled her. You did, Tavy Baby. You were like, you're just a little girl, which, you know, on a scale, calling somebody a little girl versus age shaming, I feel like age shaming is worse, but it is what it is. That's offensive too, especially to young people. You tell a young person like, you little girl, you're basically telling them like, you don't know shit, you're dumb. And she's only 24, mind you. She's only 24 years old. So literally, she's a baby. Because I remember when I was 24 years old and I was all over the place. My goodness. Like, I actually respect Big Lex. She's mature for a 24 years old. Girl, I was, oh my God, even at 26, I was running around acting crazy, acting delulu. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So Big Lex is like, Tavy Baby, back up. You know, Big Lex talks with her hands. She's literally, back up, girl, back up. And Tavy Baby's like, whoa, deja vu here. Don't put your hands in my face. Literally, this is how they fought last time in Baddies Africa on the bus, because Big Lex was talking like this. And Tavy Baby was literally like, you doing a little bit too much hand movements, a little bit too aggressive. But, you know, here Big Lex was clearly saying, like, you know, just back up. You know, that's her whole point. Tavy Baby's on the defense though. She's like, girl, are you smelling my hair? What the heck? She's literally on the defense. She's like, nah, don't try to get all hype right now. Like, cause if you want to do that, we can definitely do that, girl. Like, ain't nobody scared. Don't. Did Big Lex start counting? She said, I will give you until the count of 3 to back up. 1. Back up! 2. It's like, really? And then boom, 3. She pushed Tavy Baby back. She literally, that was kind of funny because you totally tried to little girl her and she little girled you. She treated you like a toddler. She said, if you don't shut the fuck up in 3 seconds, you gonna get an ass whooping. And, you know, she didn't whoop your ass, but she pushed you away. Okay, so security gets in the middle of them and they do not allow them to fight on the bus, which I wouldn't blame them because these two are two big women. Okay, I don't know how tall Tavy Baby is. I heard Big Lex was 5'10". I don't believe that. I think she's only like 5'8". I don't think she's as tall as she looks on camera. You know, the camera just be making you look so much bigger than what you actually are. Like bigger and taller. Anyways, they're still going back and forth. Tavy Baby keeps saying like, she said something on Instagram and that's why I said something. But then in the same sentence, she says, like, all the girls do it. So like, whatever. So that's why I kind of don't buy it. Like I said earlier, Big Lex has just never been the type of girl to run her mouth on IG. She is the one that responds to other girls when they say something about her first. I personally have not seen Big Lex say something first about somebody. I feel like Tavy Baby is not being completely truthful with that. Like, she did say a lot of stuff about Big Lex first. Yeah, girl, just own it. But Tavy Baby literally says, like, B, after this, I'm not gonna fight you anymore. I'm just gonna get somebody else who can beat you. It's like, wait, what? What happened to all that? I'm not scared of you. We could do it. Come on, what's up? Nobody's scared of you. Nobody's scared of you. Just to flip-flop like that. That's a crazy transition. Okay, so now we see Big Lex and she's literally in an argument with Summer. She's telling her like, Summer, stop talking shit. Stop trying to get involved when you have no idea what's going on. She keeps telling her, you were not even there. You weren't there in Baddies Africa when this happened. And Summer is like literally in a whole different world. Summer is talking about Fashion Week. She's like, I saw it online. Big Lex is like, you saw what? She's like, I saw when you guys were at Fashion Week together. I was like, girl, what? What are you talking about? That's not what they were referring to earlier. They were talking about Baddies Africa when Big Lex was commentating and saying she felt like Tavy Baby was basically a little suck up and trying to be friends with the big three because, you know, she didn't want smoke with them. So Summer's like, I saw you in the interview saying Tavy looks beautiful, and then I saw Tavy hit you in the bus back in Africa. What is this? What is this? Does it make sense for y'all? Because it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't. I don't get it. What's she talking about? And then they show the clip from Baddies Africa where Big Lex and Tavy Baby were literally yelling at each other's faces and going crazy. And Big Lex literally says, yes, I said you didn't want that. Like, yeah, once again, what the f is Summer talking about? Why is she talking about Fashion Week and why does she keep relating it to this scene right now? Am I tripping or what? I feel like I'm being gaslit by Summer right now. I'm like, did I miss a whole Fashion Week scene? Was this filmed? Like, what is going on? So Big Lex is like asking Summer, you weren't there. How are you gonna tell me that I'm lying right now? Summer is like, I agreed with both of you. Like, when Tavy Baby wasn't lying, I agreed with her. And when you weren't lying, like, I agreed with you. And Big Lex's point is like, girl, you don't know what the truth is because you weren't there. You had got tore up in Baddies Africa. You were removed from filming and you were gone for half of the season. You were not there. I don't know why Summer is not getting it in her head. Like, she's not understanding that she wasn't present because she keeps speaking as if she was. And it doesn't make no sense at all. And I do see that red cup in her hand. So actually that makes a lot of fucking sense. This girl is literally drunk, and this is frustrating. Like, I genuinely feel frustrated for Big Lex in this moment, and it's just wrong on so many levels. First of all, they don't need you. You're not the mediator. Stop agreeing and stop disagreeing, number one. Number two, you weren't there. Don't speak on stuff that you weren't there for. You can have an opinion, but don't try to say something as if it's fact and you know when you weren't there. And number three, honestly, I feel like the only reason why Summer's doing this is because she didn't like the fact that Big Lex and Dolly came at her and like openly in front of everybody told her she was wrong and not to do this, not to do this, not to do this. So I feel like this is Summer trying to do the same to Big Lex right now. That's what it is. The difference is that she's wrong in this situation. I mean, she wasn't there. Well, that's the end of the argument. You weren't there. Shut up. And it's funny because when Big Lex says you weren't there, so you can't say what's the truth and what's a lie, Summer, you can literally hear Summer say very softly, but she says, I don't give a F. There you go. I told you, she's totally just doing this to retaliate. Literally. Summer's immature and she's not a good friend. She's childish. So Smiley steps up kind of unexpectedly. She steps up and she's like, look, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of hearing y'all love each other for real. Like, stop this. Y'all need to stop this. Y'all need to be friends. And Summer is even like, I still have love for them. But I mean, at this point, it's pretty fractured. You can tell Dolly and Big Lex are even over it. You can tell Summer's hurt and lashing out. At this point, it's just never gonna get resolved because Summer feels like her friends are the one wrong and her friends feel like Summer is the one wrong. So if nobody's willing to, you know, be the bigger person, then it's never gonna get resolved. And it's hard. I tried to be the bigger person in many situations and I've apologized when I was not wrong. That shit is not easy. So now we get to the whole Beyonce comment, okay? Which this blew my mind because Summer was basically on IG trying to say that Big Lex was talking about her and saying that she acts like she's Beyonce. She thinks she's Beyonce and she took it in a negative way, right? But in this scene, literally, Big Lex is like, right, I did. I said you're the Beyonce of the group. How the hell is that an insult? You're the main person. You're the main star. You're the biggest, the loudest. You have the biggest personality. Like, we don't move until Summer moves. Like, what's wrong with that? It's like, ooh. Nah, I wouldn't admit all that. She was like, how is that an insult? And me too, I'm waiting for the answer and how that's an insult. Nobody in this world is gonna get insulted if you say you're the Beyonce of the group. Nobody. So I don't know. Maybe y'all can explain it to me in the comments section because I did not get how Summer took this in a negative way. So anyways, the girls are like getting off of the tour bus. Big Lex is still kind of like yelling in the background with Dolly. Dolly is straight up like, all right, I'm over it. I see what time Summer is on and I can see in Dolly's face, this is her point where she's done. She's done. She literally watched Summer be on some bullshit for no reason. Okay, so we see some of the girls arrive to the Chicago house, mostly like the OGs and Suki, Sapphire, all of them. And of course, they start talking about how Sapphire was going crazy and how she was doing too much. And I'm glad they said it because she really was doing too much. And it did feel out of character for her. I don't know if she was just super drunk or I don't know, like if she was just trying to prove that she has Suki's back. But yeah, it was just like way overboard. It was kind of a funny scene though, to see her running and smashing glass and blooding her hand and then cut to Suki's on the stage just vibing, having a good time. Like, she's not even worried about Gretchen no more. What are you hoorahing for? What are you doing all that? Okay, so now they start talking about Gretchen versus Suki. And Suki, she didn't say nothing about her being offended that Big Gretch said the N-word. She literally says, I didn't like the way she was talking to me. She was like talking to me a little bit too disrespectfully, a little bit too aggressively. And they're trying to like allude that like Big Gretch might have like a drinking problem because they keep saying like when she's sober she's cool, but when she's drunk, oh my gosh, she just like does too much. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I still go back to, I think that Suki was the one doing a lot in the scene. Go back and watch it, literally. Suki was the one being the antagonizer. It was not Big Gretch. But okay, girl, whatever. Milan then doubles down and she's like, listen, like if somebody tells me that something is offensive for them, then I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna be like, okay, sure. And I'm like, yeah, Mariah, that makes sense. Except for when your left is telling you, I don't like it, that's offensive. But your right is telling you, no, girl, you you cool, go ahead, say it. Y'all gotta be on the same page. Otherwise, it's just never going to make any time. It's never gonna work. So the Baddies USA tour bus arrives. We see some of the girls go into the house. Kokilla, Fauna, and their whole group. And then Biggie is asking Rolly, like, girl, why did you skip out on the meet and greet? And I don't know if y'all clocked this, right? But during the meet and greet, Biggie too was also, she was kind of checking Smiley at one point. She was like, Smiley, get off the floor. Oh my gosh, we look a hot mess. She's like, I'm not taking pictures with y'all no more. This is embarrassing. Like, people got alcohol in their hands. Y'all are not doing this right. I feel like, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I feel like Biggie's giving leadership qualities. Like, literally, she knows the photo shoot was looking a hot mess. She was the only one to try to fix it and say like, hey guys, these pictures are gonna be so bad. I don't know, I feel like she's showing some leadership qualities, but I don't know that I would like give her the leadership role just yet. I feel like to be one of the leaders, you gotta like have a very strong backbone, and that's what Biggie's missing. Okay, so Rolly lets everybody know that she did speak to Natalie and that they're gonna be making a lot of changes in the shows moving forward. I hope that doesn't mean that they're gonna try to remove the girls from performing. I don't know. I just feel like that's not the right move at all. That's not the right call. But anyways, yeah. So then they start talking about the drama that happened on the tour bus. They start talking about Nunu, Fauna, and Kokilla whole situation. I thought that this was pretty funny that Fauna was like, Nunu was just trying to be like funny about the whole situation. Like, she had the nerve to say something about my wig. I was like, girl, that's because you were talking about you got white stuff in your mouth, girl. Like, you're foaming at the mouth. You might want to drink water. Like, why are you acting like you didn't shade her first? You totally shaded her first. She literally said, I can see your lace because you said that to her. So come on now. I don't like when the girls do this or when they act like they didn't do shit. Like, girl, you started it. And yes, Fauna, you were kind of the one provoking the fight with Nunu. She didn't want to fight you. Mariah's like, oh my god, I cannot believe that like they got into it. Fauna and Kokilla got into it with my girl Nunu. But you know what? Like, I'm just gonna mind my business. I was like, girl, since when? Since when? You didn't mind your business when you inserted yourself in their beef online. Like, what? She was totally on the IG trying to defend Nunu. Like, if you're gonna insert yourself online, where's the same energy when you come on the show? Nunu's kind of on her own this season. She doesn't have people to back her up. Like, obviously, Fauna, Kokilla, K-Rican, like, everybody has a crew except for her. So I feel like this was one time where Mariah Lynn should have stepped in and had her back. It's funny that this is when she chooses not to. This is when she chooses that she's mature and she doesn't want to be involved in other people's business. Okay, girl. I mean, did she not just like take a fade for Tasiki earlier? Didn't she fight Summer for Tasiki? So it's weird that she's trying to act like she's I mind my business now. I don't get involved in other people's. So then we have Tavy Baby and she's just venting to all of the girls about her argument with Big Lex that happened on the sprinter here too. And I could tell that she is very upset about the age shaming because she keeps bringing it up. She keeps reaffirming. It's like, I'm 36. I'm not 40. It's like, girl, you gotta just let it go. It is what it is. We live in the US where they glorify youth. So getting older is always gonna be a diss. In our lifetime, there's never gonna be, a world where they just accept aging gracefully. So who cares? Don't even bring it up. The more you bring it up, the more you're giving them ammo. Because like now they know you get offended by that. That's all they're going to say to you. They're just going to call you an old hag. That's all they're going to do. But yeah, anyways, I thought it funny that she was saying this towards Anna. Because Anna is one of the young girls that definitely age shames. All the time. I was like, you don't know who you're speaking to. Literally. This is the queen of talking shit about somebody's age over here. So anyways, the rest of the girls from the Baddies USA tour bus arrive. That's Big Lex and Summer and Big Gretch and all them. And Big Gretch, she knows exactly what she came to do. She came and she's looking for Sapphire. She's looking for Suki. She's trying to go for Sapphire, but Tinkerbella's kind of in the middle. You see Suki's little bob coming around, like running running. And they're like, oh, hold on, wait. And everybody's just getting in the middle. Like, oh, hold on, no jumping. Because of course they're gonna jump. They're best friends in real life. Come on now. It's kind of funny too because Sapphire and Suki have the exact same hairstyle. I'm like, y'all are the Bob twins today. Like, they look funny. They both got on black. So yeah, they're like, okay, just one on one, right? All right, so boom, here we go. They clear out from the middle. Big Gretch comes in. Boom, that first hit, she got Sapphire pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. She lunged those long arms that she had and she landed. And I was like, there you go, girl. Like, when you got long arms like that, you gotta use that to your advantage, okay? So yeah, and Big Gretch got her a couple times too. Big Gretch, I'm proud of you because you did better in this fight against Sapphire than you did with Anna. Honestly, like, you were letting Anna kind of tear you up, girl. So yeah, and Sapphire is bigger than her. But of course, who jumps in? Suki. And this is expected, y'all. Did y'all really think that this girl was not gonna jump in? She jumped in and they literally started jumping Big Gretch. Summer and Tinka get involved when they see Suki jumping in and they try to come and break everybody apart. The security guards in there. It's kind of like a big mess at this point. But shout out to Summer and Tinka for being real ones and like not letting Big Gretch get jumped. Cause y'all, Big Gretch is not a fan favorite and I get it. She's not one of the popular baddies. So she would get treated like a dog is what I'm saying because of that. So shout out to them for seeing something wrong and stepping up and doing something. Oh my gosh. And then the scene cuts and you see Gretchen's neck. Gretchen's neck is covered in blood. Like, I don't know what the happened. Like, this is too much. And honestly, I feel like this is the time when you send girls home. So I actually heard that it might have been Sapphire's splint because Sapphire is wearing a splint that's made out of metal and that might have scratched Big Gretch's neck and that's why she was bleeding. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure if that's the truth or not. Suki is literally in her confessional saying that was a fair fight. We're trying to all figure out what's going on. Girl, that was not no fair fight. You jumped her. What the fuck are you talking about? She's saying that it was a fair fight. At the same time, in scene, she's literally admitting that she jumped. And she's kind of checking all the girls too. She's like, anybody that got a problem with me jumping, y'all can mind y'all business. So yeah, anyways, the scene cuts and we see Tavy Baby and she's stepped outside. It's too much for her happening. And in her mind, she's still focused on Big Lex and what happened. So literally she's just fuming. She's in her head. She's like, be smart, Tavy. Come on, girl, be smart. And I'm gonna lie, it made me laugh. I was kind of dying at this because I was like, are you pep talking yourself? But yeah, of course, who comes outside? Big Lex. Of course, they get Big Lex to come outside. She's like, Tavy, I just want to talk to you. Tavy Baby sees Big Lex. She's kind of aggressive at the very jump. Big Lex is just like, I want to talk. Tavy Baby's like, what we talking about? Like, immediately she starts walking up to her and Big Lex is like, well, stay over there. Tavy Baby in her head has already made up her mind that like she just has to fight this girl. Big Lex didn't want to fight her. She literally is like, Tavy, if I wanted to do that with you, I would do it, but I'm not, okay? So just chill. Don't flinch at me. Don't be doing that. And Tavy Baby lunged at Big Lex. She literally, and she got done up. I mean, oh my gosh. This was so sad. She did manage to get Big Lex's wig, but you know, Big Lex, she started swinging, boom, boom, boom. She kind of turned her to the side. Tavy Baby fell, okay? Big Lex didn't drop her. She fell because there's like a little step right there, so she fell on her back. And when she fell on her back, security swooped in because it was about to be over for her at that point. Like, Big Lex was coming from the top like, you know? But yeah, there's like no question that Big Lex tore her up. And that's sad because Tavy Baby hit her first. Like, you kind of had the upper hand. She didn't even want to fight you. But yeah. Oh no. And then you see Tavy Baby like kind of holding her face like this and she won't show her face to the camera. I was like, oh no, please don't tell me she got that eyebrow again. Oh my gosh. Like, her eyebrow, I don't think even finished healing from Baddie's Africa. I mean, you asked for it, Tavy Baby. She was not trying to fight you. You totally provoked that situation. You kind of got what you asked for. So all of a sudden you see Nunu and Cold Killer and they're kind of coming towards each other. I'm not gonna lie, the way this fight started was pretty funny. In the beginning, both of them, Nunu and Cold Killer, were just swinging at the air. It was literally like okay, until like they got close enough. Like then I think Nunu got a couple of hits in. Cold Killer, she was swinging. If anything, I would say that was just like a tie, because literally they were both swinging at the air for the majority of that fight. And security came with the quickness. So Anna runs in the house and she's like, guys, Big Lex and Tavy Baby are in the yard fighting. So all the girls run out there. Dolly runs out there. She's like, Lex, did you beat her ass? Did you beat her ass? Lex said, girl, you already know. Dolly's looking at Tavy Baby walking away. Dolly said, I'm not gonna lie, this made me laugh. Dolly said, oh my god, look at her. She looked like Pennywise. She looked like Pennywise. I was like, oh my gosh, stop. And then Dolly's in the confessionals like, they in this bitch like white on rice. She's like, oh wait, can I say that? Is that like okay? Which literally, totally, that's me. I'm like, I don't even know what's okay to say anymore and what's not. But like, is that offensive? Is it? That's a good question. What if it was like a saying that's like, yeah, they in this bitch like black on figs. I don't know. That sounds dumb. Okay, anyways, Summer and Anna are literally arguing over their nonsense, but Big Gretch comes into the scene and literally, boom, Sapphire and Suki immediately like, you want to fight again? You want to fight again? Like, Big Gretch literally has her neck wrapped up in blue gauze, I guess. I was like, oh my gosh. And Anna was saying like, it's not like a hole, so like she didn't get stabbed, but she got cut. So like, you know, she was kind of talking like that, which I'm like, it doesn't matter. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? It doesn't matter. She shouldn't have gotten cut either. If it wasn't from the body, if it was something extra that was used, it should never have happened and she should be sent home. So Suki's popping her shit. She's like, girl, what's up? She runs around the couch. Big Gretch comes in there. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, it looked like Big Gretch was getting her, which is not really surprising because Suki is tiny. My goodness, that girl is small. I think she's only like 5 foot. She's really small, so it's not shocking at all. But yeah, anyways, we get the previews for the next episode.